show Refined runs wild at Disneyland.
There's nothing better than watching their eyes light up when the characters come by and all the colors. It's so fun.
We kick off a week of adventures at the happiest place on earth. Find out how you can win a Disney getaway for your family. Then hundreds audition to be one of the gals. We'll show you this weekend's sizzling Seagal auditions. Plus, he was the original celebrity chef.
What do you think about when you see this book? Like, I know...
Well, there's one picture in here which I'm a little bit suspicious of.
We spend an unforgettable day with the one and only Galloping Gourmet. Seattle Refined starts now. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Seattle Refined. I'm Gard Swanson. When I'm not hosting this show and sharing stories about the Northwest, I like to spend quality time at home with my family. And when it comes to family-friendly entertainment, no one does it quite like Disney's Pixar. For the past 25 years, Pixar has produced some of the best family movies ever made. Films like Toy Story, Monsters, Inc., The Incredibles, Cars and Coco, just to name a few. And now, all summer long, Disney is celebrating the characters and stories from their Pixar family at their California theme parks. So on the happiest place on earth invited Refined to come down and be a part of the fun, we hopped on the next flight to Anaheim. There is something magical about the Disneyland Resort. It's a place where memories are made, where dreams become reality, where stories come to life.
Our cast members really know how to create magic. When we talk about walking into either Disneyland Park or Disney California Adventure Park and truly stepping into our stories, that's what you get between what you're seeing, what you're hearing, what you're smelling.
This summer, from now through September 3rd, there's something new at the Disneyland Resort. It's time for Pixar Fest.
And it's so much fun. It's really a celebration of friendship. We're celebrating friendship and beyond, as Buzz Lightyear would say, of course.
This is the first time we've ever done something like this. Pixar Fest, we basically transformed the resort into all this Pixar love. So we're super excited to have all the characters coming to life right now. Everyone's favorite Pixar pals will be there. From Buzz and Woody to Nemo to The Incredibles. You're huge and you're strong. Look at that. And when Disney does something new, they go all out. Tons of new food and drink options. Oh man, that's fantastic. 2 parades. Pixar Play Parade at Disneyland.
It was a fun surprise and parade for everyone.
Now after that parade, you look like a big kid.
I know, I am a big kid.
And Paint the Night at Disney California Adventure. So now, do 6-year-olds like that kind of parade?
Yeah.
And why did you like it?
Because Tinkerbell's wings were glowing up.
Of course, the night ends with a spectacular fireworks show, Together Forever.
They were amazing. Absolutely amazing. I loved it because it was all my favorite movies. Like literally, I had every Pixar movie that I remember watching as a kid growing up, and it just like brought me all the feels.
Perfect. Wonderful. Disney.
Whether you're young or young at heart, Pixar Fest has something that will capture your imagination, something that will leave you feeling awed, something that will make you feel that Disney magic. When you look at your children and see their smiles, I mean, that's what it's about, right?
Yeah, there's nothing better than watching their eyes light up when the characters come by and all the colors. It's so fun.
All week, we're going to be diving deep into everything new going on at Disneyland Resort this summer. Tomorrow, a closer look at Disney's newest parade and why it's like nothing you've seen before. And some lucky Refined viewer is going to win a Disney Resort vacation and a chance to take part in Pixar Fest. Log on to SeattleRefined.com/contest and enter for your chance to win a 2-night, 3-day getaway for 4 at Disneyland Resort. You have between now and April 30th to enter. Changing gears, it seems like retro is all the rage these days, and that's especially true in the kitchen, which brings us to our new refined friend Graham Kerr, aka the Galloping Gourmet. Tomorrow, a new edition of Kerr's original Galloping Gourmet cookbook from 1966 will hit bookstore shelves. It's a chance for a whole new audience to learn from the pioneer of television cooking shows. As Refined's Malia Karlinski discovered, the Galloping Gourmet may be a little older and a little wiser than the swinging 60s version, but he's just as fun as ever.
Oh my goodness. Look at you.
Our visit with Graham Kerr was a day full of surprises. One of the biggest, he lives right here in Mount Vernon. I came bearing gifts, a vintage copy of his pioneering work, the Graham Kerr Cookbook, first published in 1966.
What do you think about when you see this book? Like, I know.
Well, there's one picture in here which I'm a little bit suspicious of.
Okay.
Let's see. And it's this one.
Oh my God.
I think that's a bit much, don't you?
No,
Really?
it's great. Look at, how old were you there? Ready to take on the world.
26 and 84 now.
It's been more than 50 years since Care's iconic book first hit stores.
That's awesome.
One of his innovations, step-by-step photos.
I wanted people to understand basic methods.
Yes.
And once you know how to cook, it's only a question of the ingredients that you like. There's lots of people have done that.
But you
since
kind
then.
of did it first, though.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, you did.
Well, no.
That book led to his pioneering TV program, The Galloping Gourmet, which debuted in the U.S. in 1969. The winning recipe for the show was Care cooking, sharing his techniques, and entertaining a live studio audience, all at the same time. Each episode began with the exuberant Care literally leaping onto the set.
How did that idea even come up?
Well, my wife Trina, she looked at me and she said, "My God, man, you must be the most unutterably boring man in the entire world." Now,
Your wife said that to you.
and shit, I remember those words. They're written on my heart. So I said, "If you're so clever, why don't you produce a show?" She said, "All right, I will." She said, "Just don't walk into this audience, run in, grab a glass of wine to begin with, and then, I don't know, jump over that chair."
Let's just say, things didn't always go as planned.
I'll see you through that. It's beating me. I can't do it. I'll see you through that.
But one reason that people love watching you so much is that you seem to be having such a great time yourself.
I enjoyed them, and they enjoyed me, and I loved doing the program. And when I got to taste that food at the end and pull somebody out of the audience to be able to eat it with me, I can still feel the joy of that moment now.
Then, in 1971, at the apex of the show's popularity, the couple was on the road filming when things took a terrible turn.
Coming up after the break,
How we were not killed, nobody knows.
the tragic twist of fate that led Graham to walk away from the Galloping Gourmet for good. Plus, Seattle's #1 party band has huge spring plans. Find out the big gig they just booked right here in the Northwest. Welcome back to the show. I'm Gard Swanson. You know, the world knows Graham Care as the celebrity Galloping Gourmet, but here in the Northwest, we think of him as just another good neighbor. Graham Care shot to stardom in the 60s and 70s, delighting audiences with his pioneering cooking show. Then in 1971, the height of his fame, a terrible car accident changed his life forever. Malia Karlinski with the rest of Care's incredible story.
On the second day out, we were hit by a vegetable truck, of all things. How we were not killed, nobody knows.
Really?
But I was partially paralyzed on my left side. I couldn't jump over a chair.
Right.
And Trina at that stage said, "I've had it."
So you kind of just like walked away.
We then went off and licked our wounds. So we got this boat and we set out to sail around the world, which we did 24,000 miles at sea, and I got better. Little chopped nuts.
By the time Care took a break from the biz, he had already been cooking professionally for decades. He started as a teen working at a restaurant.
The very first dish I ever cooked in public was a crepe Suzette. Something happened there. I did something, I knew how to do it, I had a story to go with it, and they got to taste it, and it was a full circle. And I just loved that experience, and I have loved that experience ever since. Apart from
After walking away from the Galloping Gourmet, Care went on to host more TV shows, 1,800 episodes total, and he wrote 30 books. Care eventually moved to Washington State, finally landing in Mount Vernon. We got a taste of that special Care cooking style ourselves, but there's a twist.
Unmentionable stuff into the bottom of that pan. Clarified butter.
When the Galloping Gourmet was on, you guys loved the butter and the fat
Yes.
and all that stuff. But today, you are like the poster child for healthy eating.
Well, you know, what I've tried to do is say to people, there is nothing that I want to ban.
Right.
Nothing.
Okay.
I just want to have less of it.
These days,
every now and
Care is a fan of prepping and freezing ingredients for future use.
And I want to have more plant food. plant food in my life. I want to get between 7 and 9 servings a day.
He showed us how quick and easy it is to make vegetable risotto.
It's coming, you see. Now, you soak from that side.
First of all, I can't believe that I'm about to take a bite of something that Graham Caird made me in his own kitchen. It's delicious.
Right?
I'm just gonna leave now.
While he still loves cooking, there is one ingredient missing in Caird's life, his beloved wife, Trina. They first met as kids, playing badminton in the English countryside.
So I was 11 and Trina was 10. And I knocked the shuttlecock into the rhododendron bushes, and we both dove into the to try and find the shuttlecock. And in the cool of an English afternoon, in the shade of those rhododendron bushes, our hands touched for the first time. And I fell head over heels in love with that woman.
They were married for almost 60 years.
I am on my own now. You know, my wife Trina died 2.5 years ago now. And so I am trying to find out what it is to live alone. And I'm writing a book on the subject.
But before that, an updated edition of that book that started it all, the Graham Caird Cookbook by the Galloping Gourmet.
I'm afraid it's hazelnut.
Cooking has evolved a bit since the 1960s, but Caird's work has stood the test of time, with a few tweaks.
The portions are too big.
That's your criticism of your
Of my own book, yes.
Almost 70 years after he started cooking, Graham Caird's recipe for a good life is simple.
There's a cause and effect from everything. And if we can moderate that and enjoy it, be nourished and delighted, that's what life is about.
Malia Karlinski, Seattle Refined.
The new updated version of the Graham Caird Cookbook hits store shelves tomorrow. To learn more, log on to the website. Coming up, forward or backward, meet the local band whose name remains the same. Plus, an update on Upstream and the competition to be a Seagull. Here at Seattle Refined, we never get tired of hearing from you. Like us on Facebook, tweet us your story ideas, or shoot us an email telling us what you want to see on the show. You can find our inbox at hello@seattlerefined.com. Seattle Refined will be right back. Welcome back to Seattle Refined. I'm Gard Swanson. Northwest music fans are counting the days until Upstream. The second annual Upstream Music Festival and Summit will take over Pioneer Square June 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Dozens of local acts will join headliners like the Flaming Lips, Cut Copy, Miguel, and Little Dragon. We're still waiting to hear who the headliners for the summit will be. Last year it included Quincy Jones and Macklemore. We'll keep you posted. One Upstream headliner that we know will have Seattle fans meowing for more is Taco Cat. In just a few short years, the Northwest Party Band has gone from near obscurity to one of music's quirkiest success stories. Taco Cat may just be Seattle's busiest band.
Oh yeah, it's a really crazy year. A lot of touring. So much tour. All over the country, around Europe.
South by Southwest, and then and then we did another U.S. tour.
And then we did Sasquatch.
Oh yeah, and then we went straight to Sasquatch.
Oh yeah, and then we did another U.S. tour. We played the Bernie Sanders rally.
Oh yeah.
There was like so much stuff this year.
We had the Powerpuff Girls thing that happened.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Cartoon Network did like a little bit of a revamp on the show, and they wanted a new song, and they asked us to do it.
Yeah, and it was a cartoon that was popular like when we were young, so
it was cool. We actually have a lot more little girl fans that come up to us at shows and like sing that song to us and stuff. It's kind of insane.
Currently, 3 of the members of Taco Cat live in the same Central District house, which has been home to dozens of Seattle musicians through the years and features heavily in many of the band's music videos.
I Hate the Weekend was filmed in this room.
So was Scully.
This couch, actually, the cracks of this couch are still filled with candy.
Bridge to Hawaii has the front of the house and then Lila's room.
dance sequences
in
the living room.
That happened here too, yeah.
Oh yeah, we turned that
Filmed
wall
on our-
into like a green screen.
Another of the band's music videos landed them in a feud with none other than Katy Perry.
We were watching the Super Bowl, and we had just that year released the Crimson Wave music video, and
Like 4 months before that, at least.
so the halftime show starts happening, and as the beach portion starts out, I was like, looks an awful lot like our video.
And then
all of a
everyone
sudden,
started
my phone
texting
was,
us,
blowing up. Yeah, everyone started texting us like, can you believe this? So I had to tweet something.
Oh yeah,
out.
we tweeted something, Twitter was popping off, and then someone from MTV emailed us the next day, and they're like, "Oh, we want some comments on this Katy Perry feud," and we were like, "Oh God!" People got actually mad on our behalf. I was like, "No, I love Katy Perry. I don't care."
If you're a Northwest music aficionado, you'll notice that Taco Cat draws a lot of inspiration from the feminist riot girl scene that exploded out of Olympia in the 1990s.
I think that an early thing is we all really liked Bratmobile.
I saw Bratmobile play when I was probably like 18, and I'd just been starting to play in bands and stuff in high school, and I saw them play live, and it really blew my mind.
Yeah, for sure. And beyond like the feminist concepts that were really powerful, because I'd never heard anything like that before, I kind of just was so enamored with the idea that you could just make a band if you wanted to, because it had never occurred to me before. I was like, no, you have to like be a classically trained person, or like no one will let you do that. You can just like learn as you're going, I guess, was something that was really inspiring.
Which we did.
Yeah.
Taco Cat will play Saturday at Upstream. You can find out more on the website. We'll be right back. But first, check out a refined, shareable moment of the day.
The exhibition tells the story of Marvel as this 80-year-old media company that has been creating these fascinating characters and creatively recycling them and bringing them forward over and over for new generations to enjoy in lots of different ways. This exhibition will definitely appeal to the serious comic lover, but is also designed very much so that anybody can come in and find it accessible, learn about Marvel, learn about the comics, or honestly just dig some of the props and costumes from the films and have a good time.
Welcome back to Refined. It's still spring, but the Seahawks are gearing up for the new season on the field and the sidelines. Saturday marked the first round of auditions for Seagal's Hopefuls. Dozens of dancers showed up at Hawks headquarters in Renton to strut their stuff. Each contestant had to freestyle dance for 1 minute in front of the judges, who evaluated their performances on dancing ability, physical appearance, and showmanship. Lucky finalists will be called back May 13th to see who makes the squad. All right, that's going to do it for today's show. I'm Gard Swanson. Have a good one, everybody. We'll see you next time right back here on Seattle Refined.